Hello, welcome to episode 7 of Timberborn. You might be wondering, why are we back at the main menu? Well, there's a very good reason.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
That's right, all the beavers died again. I'm not going to make you sit through an hour and 10 minutes of that process occurring. So suffice to say, I don't quite grasp some of the mechanics well enough, and it's just not very entertaining stuff. So suffice to say, my failure has been exposed, and we're going to start over again. Of course, folktales, because we can't do anything else. Start with the same map. I really don't want it to be easy. Really don't want it to be easy. I think normal is how the game is meant to be played. We're going to stick with that. So, one major thing I learned is that the district mechanic is extremely frustrating, and I have no idea how it works. And I had to expand using it at the worst possible moment right before a drought, and ran out of food and water, and all the beavers died. So we're going to be avoiding that as much as possible. But we've got some ideas that we can use to improve stuff. So real quick, before we get going, one of the major problems we ran into was the logistics of getting up and down these areas and getting kind of cornered on our production. By starting the production down here, I think that was a big mistake. So what we're going to focus on first is getting ample supply of wood, water, and food before we get too much into the production stuff, because frankly, that was just causing all sorts of problems. So before we do anything, I'm going to mark basically this entire area as cuttable trees, because we can, just in case I somehow forget to do this later. We will at least know that I did something to that effect earlier in the playthrough, and we'll just leave that at that. So that being said, that's all taken care of. We're going to start by putting down some lumberjack flags. These should cover all of this area. We'll go ahead and start with 4 because we can. We'll have this come all the way out here. That is taken care of. We'll start with water pumps. Try to find a slightly better location for those. I think we can get away with putting one here, and one here to start out with. Of course, we don't have any large water tanks yet, so we will have to settle for the smaller ones. We'll go ahead and get all this stuff placed down before we start, just so we don't run into as many problems. So that's taken care of. We'll get a small warehouse blocked out as well, just right here. And then, of course, under food, we'll plant a gatherer flag. I think we have some berries over here, too. That's going to be too far from builders. We'll build paths over here, so it'll be fine. I think we can do right here should be fine. 2 of those should be okay. Just go ahead and connect all this. Why? Because we can. And for no other reason. So that should be taken care of as soon as we unpause. We have tree harvesting, we have water gathering, we have storage, and we have food gathering. And we have 7 adult beavers to start. So we'll let them go ahead and get down to business. And of course we can have some lodges as well. We're going to try and be more cognizant of the limitations of our verticality here. So why don't we go ahead and just place 2 lodges there. And then we'll come right behind with lodges right here. Connect them with a path. And then get this going just like so. Then we'll start with some science. at an inventor, which we will later move somewhere else. Go ahead and get this going right here. Now we have all these beavers cutting. We have gatherers that will be gathering. Now we're getting off to a great start. Trees marked for cutting, water pump, gather flag is under construction. As soon as they have actual, storage for stuff. One of the first things we're going to need to do is building a forester, which we're not going to have until we have 60 knowledge. But knowing what we know, we should be in a much better place. Of course, we have to place paths for these things, as could logically be expected. So we'll place those. Of course, the beavers have to sleep. But we're going to do 20 working hours because we have a lot of stuff to do. Let's get those taken care of here. I don't know why they still haven't managed to build these. I guess they don't have enough wood. There we go. All right, gather flag is done. Warehouse is under construction. Water tank will be under construction. And then that will take care of most of the early game stuff. We can get right down to brass tacks, trying to better take care of our other needs. Of course, we can't do any of that until we have science. And that's going to take a little bit of time until we have more beavers grow up to be able to actually, do work. So that's just the way things go. You live and you learn. But we are better for it, and we are going to be able to have a much more successful third attempt, because the third time is the charm, of course, as it usually is. So they'll get right back to work, taking care of all this stuff, getting all these trees chopped down in due time. Of course, we'll demolish this barrier as well. They'll take care of that at some point. All right, and that's all done. Farmhouse, of course, is the next step. So we're going to want to place farmhouses in an area that is going to be easily accessible, and also able to get all of this area covered here. So we'll start with right there. We'll get that distributed just like so. We'll probably adjust these paths at some point as well. Again, it just takes time. And we are going to go ahead and pause a couple of these lumberjack flags just to get them to work in the gatherer flags. So we have some food. We have water stored up, so whenever the first drought comes, we should be well prepared. I'm going to go ahead and designate area for carrots right here, because that is going to be our early game food source. Hopefully we can get them to grow before the first drought comes in. Assuming we can, actually... Okay, well, we'll get that one built, and then we will deprioritize these two. And we'll deprioritize that. Make sure this is all the way up, which it is. As long as we have food stored up and some water, which we do. We have plenty of water for 11 beavers. Should be in more than good enough shape. Just have to get this farmhouse built. Alright, and that's all taken care of. We got one working here. Planting some carrots. I'm not going to plant potatoes yet because they will die during the drought. But these carrots should grow fast enough for us to not have to worry about it. We can get the rest of this taken care of. That's all done. Of course, it wants more carrots, so we can oblige with some more carrots. I guess it wants a few more carrots. There we go. 60 out of 60. It wants 6 lodges, huh? I guess I should probably, to some degree, pay attention to this, right? One would think. One would certainly hope so. Alright, we'll humor them with their 6 lodges. I guess we could do one of those things to create a closed loop path. I guess now we can try to prioritize logs, huh? Might be helpful. Okay, what building lacks workers? Oh, the inventor. Okay, I guess that makes sense. We definitely don't need all these water pumps staffed fully. One operator should be more than enough. Now we just continue to wait. We just have to wait for the lodges, and then we'll be all done with the early stuff. Should be good to go. We are going to go all the way through 2 full cycles, of course. Try to optimize much better than the last time, for sure. For sure. And they're just about done with the 6 lodges. We've got our food growing. And this should be more than done before the next little drought warning comes in. Just need 6 more. We're going to have to start doing some planting of trees pretty soon as well. So we can't really build too much more because we are going to run out of trees we can actually cut. And I don't think we can actually get to these trees, or they'd probably already be cut. But you know how it goes. You live and you learn. Each time we restart, we learn something else. So, that's fine. Inventor's already built. And water wheel, we're not going to get into quite yet, because we don't have the logs to do so, and we're not going to be able to really do too much with power anyway, because we can't really unlock anything. Of course, we can. Well, we can make a lumber mill. We're not going to build a water wheel though, because by the time that's actually built, then it'll be a drought season. So instead, we'll build ourselves a power wheel. And yes, I know this is not super efficient, but this will allow us to have a little bit further away from other stuff. We'll get a lumber mill built right here. That'll match just fine. And by the time we have that, we can do our forestry, because we'll also have 60 science. And yes, I will build a water wheel eventually. Just, this is going to be a little bit quicker. It will also power this building. These carrots should be harvestable pretty soon also. Just get that to go away. We're full up on water, which is a fantastic feeling to have. I think now we are in pretty good shape. Harvesting carrots, making sure that is all taken care of. And I think the first drought is, what, 3 days? So we should be in very good shape for that. Now we're just waiting on 60 knowledge, science, whatever they are going to call it. We can unlock our forester, and then we can start replanting in this area. Should be just a moment. So we can appreciate the cinematic nature of the game if we just turn the HUD off and watch stuff happen. We haven't really done that too much in this game. I know I do it a lot in Austria, just kind of watch things get built. But this game has a nice visual style. I really like it. Okay, so that sound means something probably happened. Alright, so we have enough science, and we have our beavers are sufficiently happy for some screwed up reason. Alright, so now we can do right here, probably. It's going to be a good spot for that. We'll pop a path in. Of course, we have to wait for the planks to be done before we can actually do anything with that. Just waiting on this. And then, of course, the drought's going to start probably within the next couple of days, which is fine because I feel like we are adequately prepared. We just have to actually get the rest of this stuff up and running first. This poor guy's running for no reason. But once this is finished, he will have a reason to be running, so I'm not going to mess with him too much. Okay. No unemployed beavers in district. So we're going to pause one of these gather flags, and they're going to go to work in the lumber mill. We are going to need to build a hauling post pretty soon, but we don't have enough beaver power to spare. We did just get a new batch of children born, which is exciting. And we're making planks. Slowly. But we are making them. Just a whole lot of hurry up and wait. Yeah, we don't even have the planks to build a hauling post anyway, so it's not like that really matters. Now, before we get too involved here, I am going to go ahead and make a path all the way out to here. Because we are going to need to have access to this area before it gets all populated with trees. So I guess I should probably do that sooner rather than later. So we are going to build our dam across here, eventually as soon as we have the ability to. Which I guess technically we can do now, if we felt like it. I find it doubtful that will be done before the drought comes into play, though. I guess we could just go ahead and queue these up. Because the drought is still a minimum of 3 days away. We do have an unemployed beaver we can go ahead and add to the district center for the purpose of building. Let's just hope they get this thing built sooner rather than later. Just waiting on a whole bunch of logs. Okay, and this forester is actually in business. Okay, here comes the drought 3 days. We're not gonna... don't think we're gonna get this finished, but we can plant some trees. We're gonna stick with pine trees for now. I think the range of this will allow us to go all the way down here, and it will. So I think... yeah, we'll just leave that at that for now. That's fine. We did have 2 segments of the dam done, so who knows? Could happen. We do have a pretty decent store of logs. We just have to have beavers actually, you know, do the work. All right, so we're doing this. We have 60 science points. we going to want to unlock next? Not gears, not quite yet. Our food supply is actually looking kind of low. These should grow in time, I think. Especially if this dam is complete, which it could conceivably be. While we're at it, let's take an opportunity to go ahead and build up a couple of lumberjack posts over here. Do we have 4 beavers working on building? Yes, we do. Yeah, hurry up and get these trees cut, because we got lots of stuff to be building, and a dam is one of them. But having the first dam built for the first drought is better than we were doing last time, for sure. Hopefully a positive signal for the rest of this playthrough. Although I guess I shouldn't be too upset about making it through 9 complete cycles in my second ever playthrough of the game. It's probably something to be at least slightly proud of now. Alright, so now we just need 40 more logs. It's not completely implausible. Oh, no, you got stuff to do over there, bud. You got stuff to do over there. Let's get going here with these trees. Get to work. So we're really not too far behind. We just need all the beavers to pull their own weight, so to speak. And we could conceivably have some water left, which would be nice to help our stuff stay wet. Well, it's not looking exceptionally positive to get this last piece done. This will kind of stop the water from going out. Alright, so we just need somebody to finish that, and that's looking good. We just need 20 more logs, which we might have by the time the water starts actually going down. We just need a little bit of water to stay, to keep this whole area watered. But it is pretty rapidly going down. Though I do like our chances. Might just barely miss it, though. It's definitely going down. Come on. Come on. No sleeping. Let's go. 24-hour work cycle. We gotta save this water. Let's go. Oh, are you kidding me? You've got to be absolutely shitting me. Ugh, it finished right at the end. Alright, well. No sleep for you. That's your punishment, no sleep. Because all this is going to die. As long as they can harvest it and we don't lose out on all that. God, that's so irritating. That is so unfathomably irritating. That was right there. It was just finished. Well, I guess that's what I get for daring to try to be good at this game. That's fine. That's fine. Well, we have some science, so why don't we go ahead and look at getting stairs unlocked and platforms soon after. The stairs, of course, going to be instrumental in us getting other stuff done here. So we'll go ahead and put some stairs there. And then we'll cover this whole area with platforms, and then we'll build a second level of lodges on top eventually when we actually have the means to support it. I can't believe it. It was so close. So close. Fortunately, the first drought is only so long. Alright, we can go off the 24-hour work cycle. I don't want him to die of exhaustion. I don't even know if that's a thing that can happen. But we do have 31 planks stored up, which means, of course, that we can do a gear workshop as soon as we have 100 science points, which we don't have quite yet. I need them to get these carrots out of here. While we're here, let's go ahead and put in a path all the way through here, just so we don't get too caught up with all this. I can get away with planting a pine tree here. Anyway, so we have this path going all the way through here, so we don't have a problem like last time where I had to build 800,000 stairs everywhere. So we can go ahead and connect down here, which means hopefully we can have a better chance of getting stuff more appropriately distributed down here. We'll have platforms that go down here, so hopefully should be in range of the district center. And looks like our water's back, which is fantastic news. There we go. So we have our 100 here. Let's go ahead and unlock our platforms. And we aren't going to build anything down here quite yet, because we don't have the need to, but it's good to know that that is taken care of. We'll get this situated right here. Of course, they will take up planks if we allow them to, so let's try to avoid that. Except for the ones that have already been built. I probably should have not gotten that done ahead of time. We'll let them finish that because it already has all the materials. We have this, so now we can actually go in here, get our gear workshop built as soon as we get up to 100 again. So now I think what we should probably be doing is focusing on planting more crops. So we'll expand our carrots over here. This goes pretty far out. I think we can be safely adding another farmhouse here for more employment. We can also start doing some potatoes, which we will put right here. We can always move those later, but getting those started will be crucial to our early game success. They've got more and more and more to do here. All right, so now we have a choice. Where are we going to do our production type stuff? We also have this area over here that we can be cutting trees. I believe we already have this designated, and we do. So let's go ahead and get path done here. I think we can go and do, yes, 2 of these right here ought to be sufficient for that. So I think it's going to be about time to put in some more lodges. Now I believe if I've done this correctly, I can put another staircase here, and then that will connect, be high enough for a double lodge, which we of course can't build yet. But we'll go ahead and just get that going anyway. So we have to have 150 science for that. We're not going to use our next 150 on that. We're going to start making some gears. But just to get an idea of what's going on, we can do some regular lodges here in this layer, and then we can do more double lodges behind it because we have the ability to take care of that. Or we could just, leave it for now and build another layer of regular lodges down here, which is probably what is going to happen. And we'll just connect them as we have the means to sustain them. So we'll start with that one. and we'll see where it goes, except they're going to build this one first. Of course they are. But, you know, we'll get there. It is indeed a process. And all these trees are cut over here, so we are going to go ahead and pause these lumberjack flags. And then we'll wait a little while for that to take care of itself. We have these over here that are being worked on. We have our pine trees growing again over here, so this is doing quite well. We have carrots and we have potatoes planted. We have water that is being pumped, and we just need more beavers to be born. Now, the next things we need to be looking into is going to be hauling post, which we should go ahead and build probably about here in the middle. And that will allow us to have much greater efficiency for buildings like the lumber mill, of course, which will take things to and from storage. Our warehouse is nowhere near full, so we're okay on that. I love that sound. That's hilarious. So next we can, well, I'll tell you what we're not going to do is we're not going to get rid of these berries just quite yet. We are, however, going to look into what we have to do for power. Because we have the ability to start doing some more of that stuff. I don't want to extend it too far because that was a kind of a disaster. Last couple times we were going about doing this stuff. So if we actually start with a water wheel over here, it's going to say it's too far, so we have to come up to this area, which is about what we were doing before. So let's go ahead and get paths done up all over here. Demolish this, and this, and this, just because we can. Then we'll get this, no, there's a tree in the way. We'll go out one more here. We'll connect right here, and that should be fine for that. And then we'll start with our water wheels over here. I think until I have gears, I have to just have one of these. And then I have to put in a gear workshop pretty much right next to that. Just have that running as much as I can. Of course, this is almost done. Let's see if I can get this to connect now. Good. Okay, we're almost to 100. We'll get that unlocked as soon as that crosses that threshold. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the gear workshop right here. This will be moved. Actually, we can go ahead and put this right here so it's not completely in the way. We'll come along the back side with our power controls here and get this going like so. Actually, I'll tell you what, just for the sake of future proofing, we'll do that as a four-way. We do have enough planks to take care of all of these things, so they just have to actually be, you know, constructed. I think we can probably safely connect all these now. Oh, get out of here. So we do have enough water storage for the time being. We'll be A-okay. We just need to get this up and running here. Just takes, you know, a little bit of time. But that's fine. We just need more beaver bodies. Okay, this area is almost completely deforested. So we can go ahead, once this tree is cut down, go ahead and turn these off. Alright, so that should free up some laborers for other stuff. We'll go ahead and leave that back down at 1. Turn that down to 2. Actually, no, they build, so we need to have those back up. We just really need this to get done. That's what the priority needs to be. Water wheel needs to be complete. Then this needs to be second priority. It really should not be that much longer. They just take sometimes take a little bit too much time to get stuff done. Food supply is looking good, which is very nice. Of course, we have to build for the potatoes, we have to build a grill, which is just a bunch of logs. So I think we can get away with doing this. We'll make these very low priority. Then put in a path in the middle. So we have to get this water wheel built. And it's almost there. Just a little bit more time. Alright, hurry up and get that built. Okay. So that's all done, that's all done, that's all done, that's all done. Okay. That's the tutorial all finished right there. So at least it's, generating power that it can't do anything with, but that's progress that needs to be happening anyway, so I'm not super worried about it. We can, however, go ahead and open up employment and another water pump just to get these filled back up a little bit, because the second drought is coming very soon, so we want to make sure we're prepared. Yep, 3 days. So we're in a pretty good spot for food, I think. We're about to have another harvest of carrots, and we do have the dam, which should help quite a bit with our water situation for keeping things irrigated. We can go ahead and unpause one of these lumberjack flags. Actually, maybe 2. Yeah, that'll take care of that. We'll start cutting these down, get those replanted. It just takes a very long time to build because we have to continue hauling stuff. We do have one person working at the hauling post, which we probably could improve to 2. These are all paused here. I think we probably are doing fine as we are now. These should be relatively quick to build here. We are going to have to fire somebody from some other job here to take care of all of that. And I think it's going to be one of these other lumberjack flags. Let's get somebody to come over here and work, and they are. Just have a couple more of these power shafts to take care of here, and this should be operating. Now is the time where we add more haulers here. Excuse me. Sneeze at the same time you get an email notification. That's funny. Now we can pause one of these pumps because our storage for water is just about full. Making the gears. It does take time. Just need to get this person in here working. There we go. And as soon as we start making gears, that's going to be good news for us. That will help us with our future goals for the next episode, like doing paper mills and other things, but also large water tanks to store more water. And I don't think we need to worry about irrigation towers quite yet. I haven't messed with the water dump yet, so we'll have to get into that at some point. But I think we're in a pretty sustainable part of the game right now. Try not to grow too quickly and create additional demands that we can't fulfill. Of course, this gear workshop will be completely useless once the drought comes because it won't have any power. We will fix that at some point. Should be coming in just a little bit, that second drought, and we'll see if we are prepared to survive that. But I think we're in very good shape. We have plenty of water, and we will continue to have water because we have the dam. So since we have all of that taken care of, we can go ahead and prepare down here. They're not going to be able to reach this quite yet, but we'll go ahead and get this going here. Oh, they actually can start building this. All right, well, no harm just getting it started then, I suppose. This, of course, is going to be water pumping stations. Ooh, I misjudged that one. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just put a small storage tank down here to offset that. That'll give them something to do. So we've got all sorts of other trees and stuff to harvest over here. All right, well, while this is taken out, we can get rid of that. We've got plenty of berries to harvest. So we'll go ahead and unpause this gatherer flag. All right, so a little bit into this drought. Looks like we've got a pretty good handle on food and water. We are going to leave this guy running. Why? Because we can, and I absolutely am not going to allow beavers to die of thirst again. Very, very annoying. So while we have the time off from this, go ahead and pause this guy so we can go do something else. Let's go ahead and think a little bit about how we want this area up here to be utilized. I'm thinking it's going to be smart for us to do more of a production area at this part of the map. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start demolishing stuff that's going to keep us from doing that. We'll just get rid of these things here. Of course, we're going to have to plant another gatherer flag over here to take care of gathering. And we also could use some more lumberjacks working here. So we are going to have to take our haulers down to 2 to make some more unemployed. So we can then hire them working at this flag here. Get that going. We'll get this gatherer working as well. Get this stuff removed. Of course, with the goal of getting everything passed up nicely here for taking care of our production areas. So we'll go ahead and pop some of these here. Of course, immediately pausing construction so they don't get any resources allocated to them, but just so we have stuff figured out here. We'll go ahead and put these 4 ways in. I guess I shouldn't have put a pathway here. That probably needs to just be, you know, the actual, what is it called? My mind is losing its grasp on reality presently. Played a lot of this game today. We'll get this configured right here. But ultimately the idea will be to get power going from here up here, and then eventually this will be moved as well. We'll have more water wheels connected in this area, which means we probably could also put a water wheel here. Oh, yes, I like that. I like that. We're going to put that there. Then once that's built, of course, we will put in little snaky dudes right here. That'll help that. But of course, we only have so much beaver power, so there's not too much we can do. We can go ahead and hire a couple more lumberjacks, make sure our water and our food supply is looking good, which it appears to be. I think we are in pretty good shape. We just have to be cognizant of what's going on here. Probably need to prioritize this to get that taken care of. Just make sure we're following down here. Because if they get this done, Then we can go ahead and connect all this and get this going up here. And then we can actually have a proper production area and move this gear workshop somewhere else. But, of course, I should put this on a t-shirt at this point. It just takes time. Just takes time. I'll get somebody to build this gatherer flag as well. Hopefully. At least we've got grilled potatoes. We've got a very nice food supply. And we don't have to worry about water. And the drought's over anyway, so it's not like it really matters. Early game seems to be going quite nicely. But yeah, that is the end of Cycle 2, which means the end of our Episode 7, but first episode of this third try playthrough here. And looks like we haven't had any beavers die of starvation or thirst. At least not recently. I should probably check before I make a fool of myself. Well, they died of old age, but that's to be expected. So overall, a much better start to our restart than I thought we were going to have. Lots to be happy with here. They are constructing this little water platform. I think our goal is going to be to have a lot of water stored up before we get our beaver population much bigger. Of course, we're going to have to build more lodges, but we're on our way pretty nicely to having some good timber production as well as some farming, and of course gathering as well. And then next episode will be industrializing this area again. Hopefully won't have to restart anymore. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed. I know it can be frustrating to have restarts, but you know, I believe in actual truthful representation of how I'm playing these games and not just like, oh, okay, well I messed up so I'm just going to go back now. Or we're not going to be doing too much of that. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I enjoy having you here. Hopefully you will stick around for some more stuff. We've got more videos coming daily on the YouTube channel. We've got YouTube live streams coming up, and we have Twitch as well over at twitch.tv/jcthebeard. Going to be playing some mostly non-city builder content over there. So we'll keep you posted with all of that with community posts as well. And we'll see what happens in the future. But again, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.